Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos is one of the biggest upcoming cozy games. This game promises to be like no other Harvest Moon game we've ever seen before. I was very fortunate to get an exclusive first look on some gameplay on Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos, and I have both a lot of things to show you and a lot of things to tell you about potentially your next favorite farming sim game. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you, it is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. Oh my goodness, do you feel overwhelmed with all of the cozy games? I feel a little overwhelmed with all of the cozy games, but I am very excited. September is going to be the biggest cozy gaming month of the year so far, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you all the information about one of the games you need to have on your list. Natsume very kindly invited me and some other creators to an exclusive first look at some gameplay. We had a Q&A with the developers, and it was a really cool experience, especially for me because I've never been invited to something like that before. And from the hour of gameplay I got to see and the questions that I answered, I compiled a list of everything you need to know about the new Harvest Moon game before the game comes out. So that's what we're gonna do today, but before we get into it, please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. And if you want to see me play cozy games live, I live stream on this YouTube channel several times a week, and I would love to see you at a stream, okay? I'll shut up and let's tell you a little bit about what I learned about Harvest Moon. So I'm actually brand new to Harvest Moon. I know, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm actually brand new, and this will be my first ever official Harvest Moon game. So it was even more exciting for me to get to be a part of this event and kind of learn and see things for the first time. So even though you might know what Harvest Moon already is, let me break it down. What is Harvest Moon? Harvest Moon is what is thought of as the first ever farming sim game. The original game in the series came out in the late 90s, perhaps before I was born, but then they went on to have many new games under the Harvest Moon title. And they were huge games, and many video game players' first ever experience with virtual farming. And of course, and most notably, the Harvest Moon games were a major inspiration source for the modern farming sims that we know and play a little bit too much of. Now, in 2014, the team behind Harvest Moon actually split up. And from that split, we saw a lot of the original developers move on to make the Story of Seasons franchise, and remake a lot of the classic Harvest Moon games under the Story of Seasons title. You saw me play my first ever Story of Seasons game this year when I covered Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life on the channel. So half of the team went on to work on Story of Seasons, and the others stayed with Natsume. And they were able to keep the Harvest Moon title, but since the split, they've been creating entirely new games. And Natsume's newest game promises to be a Harvest Moon that we have never seen before. That's the game we're breaking down in today's video, Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos, the first ever open world Harvest Moon game. Now that you know a little bit about Harvest Moon, let's get into what the story is about in the Winds of Anthos. The land of Anthos was a peaceful and harmonious land watched over by the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites, who protected the inhabitants of Anthos from natural disasters such as storms, earthquakes, and the like. However, one day many years ago, Anthos experienced a severe volcanic eruption that threatened life on Anthos itself, and the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites had to use all of their remaining power to keep the people and the animals of Anthos safe. This left the different villages across the land entirely blocked off from each other, and some unfortunate souls even got trapped outside their villages and were never able to return home. Believing that the separated villages and people would one day be reconnected, the Harvest Goddess sent out a bottle with a letter and a magic key, and then fell into a very deep sleep. Now, 10 years later, you, the player of Harvest Moon, The Winds of Anthos, have found the SOS that the Harvest Goddess sent to the world in the form of a message in a bottle. With the help of your wacky inventor friend Doc Jr. and many other NPCs, it'll be up to you to revive the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites, as well as reconnect all of the villages of Anthos with each other. In essence, Harvest Moon, The Winds of Anthos is a story all about recollecting a vast amount of land that was torn apart from disaster. So now let's talk about the biggest part of this game. Let's go over what the world is like. In Harvest Moon, The Winds of Anthos, you'll begin your adventure on just one small part of an otherwise huge open world map. For real, I got to see just how large the completed map is, and while I won't show you because of spoilers, just know it is absolutely insane and much bigger than I thought it would be. And through different quests, you'll be able to expand the small map further and further and further until you have the very huge completed map. And this completed map will feature areas that have vastly different climates. The climates will be so different that you'll even need to utilize warm or cool clothing to make sure you maintain your stamina while you're traversing through both harsh snowy weather and also scorching hot weather. And you'll be able to explore this wide array of land either on foot, while utilizing different animal mounts, which we'll cover in just a second, and also by using fast travel using the Harvest Goddess's warp statues. However you decide to explore, there is tons of exploring to do. And a very cool feature that you'll be able to utilize is Doc's new and improved Expando farm. Moving yourself from place to place wasn't enough. You can easily move your farm from any place to place and farm anywhere from snowy mountains to beautiful beaches. Now let's get into what I think is my very favorite part of the game. Let's get into all of the animals. Now this open world is by no means empty. Other than being filled with people, resources, and buildings, there are tons of animals to discover in the game. And I don't know about you, but I often tend to prefer the animals to the people. So in this one, you'll see a wide range of animals that include, but are not limited to, horses, bears, tigers, wolves, ferrets, and even dinosaurs. You'll also see tons of climate-specific animals like camels and also reindeer. And you'll have the opportunity to befriend these animals, take them home with you to the farm, and even utilize some of them as mounts. And each animal will have their own benefits, and the animals may even be able to help you with certain minigames that you'll get to play when festivals emerge. And of course, other than these more exotic animals, you'll also be able to have all of the classic farm animals that you'll need for production, like cows, sheep, chickens, and more. While I tend to prefer animals to people in my cozy games, you can't forget about the amazing characters, so let's break down the characters that are going to be in the Winds of Anthos. There will be tons of different NPCs for you to get to know in Harvest Moon, The Winds of Anthos. Specifically, if you're interested in the romance part like I am, there will be 5 bachelors and 5 bachelorettes that you could choose to romance and marry. And very notably, this is the first ever Harvest Moon game where you can marry any of the candidates regardless of gender. While I don't have information on every single character, and we'll have to wait and see for ourselves just who else there is in this world, here are some of the characters you can look forward to, and these ones are all marriage candidates. The first one, and forgive me if I say their name wrong, is called Aolani. Aolani is the daughter of Jason, a fisherman in Lilikala. Aolani loves to fish and to eat fish, and her knowledge of fish is second to none. And she says even within the same species, individual fish can behave so differently. She is serious, studious, and very trustworthy, and oh my goodness, is she not the most adorable person you've ever seen. Then we've got Kaimana, and Kaimana says, don't worry, there's nothing I can't fix. They're the son of Makoa, the crafter in Lilikala. Kaimana is a fishing tackle craftsman, a passionate man who loves the sea more than anything, and never gives up in the face of difficulty. Kaimana has an absolute confidence in his fishing, tackling, crafting skills, perhaps a bit too much so. Then we've got Judy, the daughter of Mathis, animal dealer in Lechtonbury. Judy has a mischievous side and a bit of a sharp tongue, but she is good-natured and she likes to help others. Animals love her and she loves them back. And she says, "My animals are as precious to me as family. Not just this one, but all of my animals." Then we have Neil, the son of Selena and Eugene, who run the restaurant in Lechtonbury. Neil is currently working as a cook in training. Although he tends to be seen as laid back and a bit unreliable, his passion for cooking is genuine. In truth, he prefers to eat food, not cook it, which is very relatable to me. And he says, filling your belly with delicious food is one of life's great pleasures. I also have some images of other characters without a description. Here is the stunning Wesley, who I know nothing about, but I don't know if I need to because I think he's gonna be my boyfriend. And also his amazingly adorable sister, Vivi. Once again, I don't know much about her either, but she seems very, very sweet. And I also have an image of another character called Nemo. I do not know if Nemo is romanceable, but this is a first little look at them, and they seem to run the flower shop in town. Other than these NPCs, there will of course be the different sprites to meet, and many other fun NPCs along the way. And in the game, you'll be able to do tons of quests for the NPCs that will help you gain friendship with them, and also give you the chance to go out and keep exploring. You can't have a farming sim game without the farming, so let's go over all things farming. So let's get into farming. Here you can see a sneak peek at the farming in-game. In my opinion, it looks like it's gonna stay pretty true to the classic farming sim system I think of, honestly, when I think of most farming games, but you can see you'll be able to grow and harvest tons of very vibrant, oversized crops. And they'll be of different qualities, and as you farm more and more, you'll be able to level up your farming skills. In this game, you'll actually be able to collect seeds from harvest wisps hidden all over Anthos, and some of the rare ones only come out at certain times, which really brings you back to the open world aspect of the game and gives another fun explorative nature to farming. In this game, you'll also get to utilize different processing machines to make farming and ranching a bit easier and more efficient if you're like me and you want to just do the farm and then get right back out to your adventure. And notably, you can fill your farm with all of the exotic animals you meet in your journeys, so they'll definitely look a little different than your usual barns. And like I mentioned previously in the video, you'll also be able to quickly move your entire farm to different areas of the map as you please. For me, in farming sim games, the farming usually isn't my favorite part. It's actually the fishing, and there is fishing in this game, so let's talk about it. Now let's get into fishing for this game. If you've seen my channel before, you know I am picky about fishing. I really love to fish, and I'm really excited about the fishing in this game because it is an interactive, actual minigame, and not just clicking the water and automatically getting a fish like you see in some other farming sims. In this one, you'll see a fish's shadow in the water, and you'll need to throw your line toward the fish that you see. Once a fish is hooked, you'll need to reel them in by using your joystick in the opposite direction that the fish is pulling, pretty much trying to simulate a real-life fishing style. We'll have to see just how easy or just how challenging this one is. Regardless, I'm excited to try it out. And with fishing, you'll be able to fish in a wide amount of areas and be able to collect all different kinds of fish. Now that I've told you about all of the content-related information, let's get into the official details. When's it coming out? How can you get it? How much is it? All of that good stuff. Harvest Moon: The Winds of Anthos is coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Steam. The game is coming out on September 26th, and at least for US currency, it's gonna be priced at $50. You can pre-order the game right now on Natsume's website, specifically if you want to get in on some fun bonus items, like this adorable cow plushie. that I want so very badly, or you can just hang tight because September 26th will be here before you know it. So I've given you a lot of information about Harvest Moon, the Winds of Anthos. Now I kind of just want to talk about what stood out to me in the showcase that I got to see. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I was not asked to make this video. I genuinely saw this showcase and felt very excited to share this game with you guys. I think for me, the standout was definitely the map, because I feel like more recently with the trend of open world games, a lot of games will call themselves open world and then they're kind of not open world and it's a very small map. But seeing the completed map of this, I was absolutely shocked, like my jaw dropped. And I actually really enjoy that we don't get the full completed open map right when you start the game, because personally for me, while I do enjoy open world games, I do actually find them a bit overwhelming sometimes, and I feel like there's so much to do, so much to see, and I don't know where to start. So I like that this Harvest Moon game is going to give us a little bit at a time that we can continue to work to expand. As I said before, I really love the animals. I think there's something so unique about having these exotic animals running around the farm. It gives you another reason to explore other than just exploring to explore. Same thing with being able to collect different seeds as you go on your adventures. I love that the map is going to feature areas of different climates, and you can move your farm based off of if you want to, like, you know, farm in the snow or something like that. And something I don't have footage of, but something I thought was really interesting, was you'll actually be able to search for animals on the map. So if you discover an animal you want to find, you can actually filter on the map to see where that animal is located. And some animals are only going to be located in certain climates at certain times, so it makes finding them a little bit tricky, and some are definitely a lot more rare than others. Overall, I think that the Winds of Anthos looks really interesting. Whether you've been a Harvest Moon fan for a long time, or if this will be your first game similar to me, I think that this farming sim game has a lot in it, and I'm excited to find out the things that I don't know. This is definitely a things you need to know before you play the game, but not everything. And I'm excited that there are going to be lots of secrets that I don't know about yet. But this isn't about me. I want to hear what you think down below. Will you be checking out Harvest Moon, the Winds of Anthos? Will you not be? What are you liking? What are you not liking? I want to hear all of your thoughts about the game down below. Please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.